Wow, wasn't that amazing? All right, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. I am Christopher Carpenter, the Stephen Scharf Interim Dean of the School of Medicine. It is my honor to welcome you to the 10th commencement ceremony of Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine. I also welcome those who are streaming this event live from all parts of the world so that you could be present at this special event in the lives of our class of 2024. Please go ahead and sit down. Before we start the ceremony, we have a few logistical things to address. For our ceremony to proceed in an orderly manner and to provide all members of the audience with as clear a view as possible, we ask family and friends of the graduates who are taking photographs to keep all of the aisles clear. We have several professional photographers here today as well taking pictures of our graduates. Now, at this time, please stand for the national anthem performed by our Associate Director of Financial Services, Gregory Ash.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wasn't that amazing? Thank you, Gregory. That was outstanding. Everyone, please be seated. Yesterday, we witnessed the military promotion ceremonies for two of our graduating seniors, or students. I'd like to recognize those students, so please stand when I call your name and remain standing. Catherine Barkach was promoted to lieutenant in the United States Navy. And Stephen Greenwell was promoted to captain in the United States Air Force. Congratulations to both of you. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the platform party. I ask that each of you rise and remain standing until all members of the platform have been introduced. I ask the audience to please withhold your applause until all have been recognized. Let's begin. Standing to my far right from Oakland University, we have Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Graham Harper, Vice President of Government Relations and Community Relations, Rochelle Black, Associate Provost for Operations, Dr. Amy Baines-Berselli, and Senior Vice President of Student Affairs and Chief Diversity Officer, Glenn McIntosh. And it gives me extra great pleasure to welcome a very special guest today who has made a profound impact on OUWB, our founding dean, Dr. Robert Folberg. Also, I'm hoping he is watching during this event, our recently retired dean, Dr. Dwayne Meswa, via live stream. We wish you well and extend a warm welcome to you. Continuing on my left, we've got the Oakland University President, Dr. Ora Hirsch-Peskovitz. We've got Oakland University Board of Trustees Chair, Robert Shostak. Our honorary degree candidate, the Executive Vice President, Chief Scientific Officer, and President of Lilly Research Laboratories, and President of Immunology at Eli Lilly and Company, Dr. Daniel Skowronski. To his left, we have OUWB Founding Associate Dean for Academic and Faculty Affairs, Dr. Linda Gillum, Corewell Health Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Daryl Almushi, Corewell Health East President for 5 days so far, Lamont Yoder, President of Corewell Health's William Beaumont University Hospital, Dr. Daniel Carey, and OUWB alumnus from the class of 2019, Dr. Matthew Dragowski. In the next rows are the chairs of our clinical departments. I ask all of you to please rise together as a group and remain standing. Now joining them, I ask the OUWB leadership team, the associate and assistant deans and vice deans of the school, please rise and remain standing. On the main floor, I welcome and invite Ken Matzik, who was instrumental to the founding of our school, to stand and be recognized. Ken. And next, I ask, kind of a quiet but very important part of our learning environment, our standardized patients, who provide the students with realistic patient interactions in our Clinical Skills Training and Simulation Center. Please rise. Thank you all for being here. Now please be seated. It is now my privilege to introduce our first speaker, the chair of the Oakland University Board of Trustees, Robert Shostak.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Dean Carpenter. It's great to be gathered with all of you. My message today, simple, to the graduates and to their families and our new amazing physicians. Short story. My wife, Nancy, will recall, frankly, better than me, since she delivered our son 43 years ago, when we gave birth to Michael, that less than 10 years into his precious life, he started talking about being a doctor. In a flash, it seemed that he graduated from that other university in Ann Arbor, then went on to medical school at that other university downtown. But we were able to witness an incredibly proud moment at that white coat ceremony as he entered medical school. First ever in both of our families. And of course, 4 years later, that infamous and hair-raising match day. We witnessed him meet his final and formal challenge as a Cleveland Clinic resident and later during his fellowship. I say to you parents and families with us today, it all still feels like yesterday as we continue to be in awe and so honored by all of your accomplishments. For your families to participate in this momentous ceremony for the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine and to be part of the 10th graduating class puts them in a moment in which words are truly inadequate. Expressing their pride in all of you is beyond our capacity to adequately wrap words around it. I personally also feel tremendous pride in being affiliated with this distinguished academic institution that has made this day possible for each of you as our emerging physicians. You have completed one of the most demanding and rigorous curricula in higher ed. Your success is remarkable, and it's evidenced in so many ways. Collectively, for example, you have been sought after to complete residencies at institutions in 24 different states. Many of you have also been welcomed by some of the most prestigious medical centers in the nation, including Mayo Clinic, University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, University of California, Los Angeles Medical Center, and Brown University, and others. All of you have merited the pride and respect of your instructors at OUWB and of Oakland University as a whole. This is certainly not to exclude the glowing and well-deserved admiration of your family and friends. As a parent of a conscientious, diligent, and successful physician, I can tell you how meaningful it is to us to experience this sense of pride. During your white coat ceremony 4 years ago, you took an oath to practice medicine with care, compassion, and understanding. In the countless decisions you will be called upon to make as doctors, you will have many opportunities to remain true to that oath. The degree to which you seize these opportunities will define and influence you as you continue to be admired and respected by all. Because of the sacrifices made by you and your families, we know you will do extraordinary work, and this work will be guided by a deep sense of commitment to serve. Staying true to this commitment will help you find all of the successes, personal growth, and fulfillment you all desire and deserve. Equally important, and a very personal note to our graduates, you know individually what it took to get you here today. You will soon learn to an even greater degree that with that role you are soon to undertake comes a responsibility to be and do something special. In this world we live in, the responsibility that you agree to take on, the role you will play, it's complicated in more ways than even just a few years ago, and more so than any of us could have imagined possible. Commitment and sacrifice is necessary to navigate this great country we live in. Things move much faster than ever before and are ramping up every day. The mantle you need to grab is not always easy to get a grip on. You have sacrificed so much to get there, and now it's time for even greater responsibilities by you. What will come is the need for a stronger grip and determination. You all are unique and special. You are among the few, the strong, the committed, to make this place we call home a better place. You have the capabilities for making change. You have the responsibility to lead. You have the emotional fortitude to drive and to stand up. But in order to lead, you're required to make continued sacrifices. This is your moment. This is your time. Grab the mantle at the hospital where you finish your formal training and then jump to the front. Demand more and insist on the best. And just remember to show what sacrifice is and to lead with strength and courage and determination, that same type of courage you have exhibited these past 4 years. Personally, I thank you in advance for all of your outstanding contributions to date, and you will certainly make to society in the future. Congratulations on this very important day. May your families continue to be blessed by you and all that you represent. Congratulations. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our next speaker, my good friend and mentor, the president of Oakland University, Dr. Ora Hirsch-Peskovitz.
Thank you so much, Chair Shostak. I want to say what a privilege it is to be in the presence of 3 of our deans. Our founding dean, Dr. Robert Folberg, I hope online, Dean Meswa, whose vision many of you started under, and of course our current dean, Dean Christopher Carpenter. Well, congratulations, graduates. Although it's just a tad premature, may I be the first to call you Doctor. Now, really, what does it mean to be called doctor? You know, it's important to realize that it's a lot more than a title. It's really a responsibility. And I once sat where you're sitting today. And many years later, I still think about the moment that you are now experiencing. I was so excited, but at the same time, I have to tell you, I was really, really uncertain about whether I would ever be a good doctor. After medical school, my residency, my fellowship, and years of practice, I'm really still wondering, did I ever achieve that goal of being a good doctor? You know, some of us really do wonder about whether we ever achieved the goals that we set out to achieve. But looking back, I've thought about some of the advice that I gave to myself then and that I've continued to give myself over the years. And I'd like to briefly share with you some of what I would have said to my younger self. So I'm going to share it with you now. Approach each day with passion and with purpose. And never, ever underestimate yourself. But at the same time, don't overestimate yourself either. Be curious. Curiosity is one of the best traits you can have. Be respectful and be humble. You don't know what you don't know yet until that day arrives when you're going to need to figure it out. Medicine is as much an art as it is a science, and the practice of medicine takes a lot of practice. You should get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, people are going to need you to give comfort to others. And remember that you enter the medical profession on the shoulders of those, all of those, your wonderful professors and faculty who came before you. So honor that tradition. Seek mentors. Some of you learned about my idea of a mentor quilt. I love that concept because all of us need mentors. And so when your time comes, please be a patch on the quilt of someone else's mentor quilt. Be a mentor to them. With caring comes pleasure and also sometimes some pain. But never, ever stop caring because it's the foundation of your humanity. You will suffer some heartache if you care a lot, but you will also experience great triumph. And when you experience one, keep the other in mind too. And remember to always experience joy. And with joy comes laughter. And sometimes don't forget to laugh, even at yourself. And always stand on principle. And if you stand on principle, you'll never lose your way. In the final analysis, when you give a lot, you'll always receive a lot more in return. The universe will notice. So of all these aphorisms, perhaps the most important one is this: believe in yourself and believe in the practice of medicine. The practice of medicine is a sacred one. I believe to this day that medicine is the most noble of professions. Congratulations to all of you graduates. Well, we have with us today someone who I hope all of you will be able to emulate, someone who upholds the highest standards of medical research and medicine, our honorary degree recipient, Dr. Dan Skowronski, who, as you've already heard introduced, and I'm not going to repeat all of his titles, is Chief Scientific Officer of Eli Lilly and Company and President of Lilly Research Labs. Dan, Dr. Skowronski, I'm going to ask you to step forward and stand right here while I say a few nice things about you. The Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine, on occasion, recognizes individuals who have given unusual measure toward the betterment of humankind's intellectual, cultural, aesthetic, social, and civic fabric, and who, in doing so, have touched the life of the institution in significant ways. And we are doing that right now with Dr. Skowronski. Just as the conferral of the doctoral degree, which all of you are going to receive, and which Dr. Skowronski has already received, is a university's recognition of the highest academic achievement, so too is the conferral of the doctorate degree honoris causa, which is an honorary degree, a university's recognition of truly distinguished achievement beyond the classroom and beyond the campus. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about Dr. Skowronski. He completed his residency training in pathology and a fellowship in neuropathology at the University of Pennsylvania. He obtained his medical degree from the Perelman School of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, and he also obtained a PhD in neurosciences from the University of Pennsylvania. He obtained his Bachelor of Science in molecular biophysics and biochemistry from Yale University. And today, he's responsible for all of Lilly's research and development across all of the therapeutic areas at Eli Lilly and Company. Under his leadership, Lilly has created the first monoclonal antibodies to fight COVID-19. And through his vision and his passion, he's advancing the diagnosis and treatment of Alzheimer's disease. This has been one of Dan's great passions for decades. And I am certain that one day, Dan, you will discover the cure for Alzheimer's disease. I know you've been at it for a very long time. In 2018, when other pharmaceutical companies were buying up biotech companies as a way of developing drugs, Dr. Skowronski was urging Lilly's executives to think ahead and invest in gene therapy. And as a result, he has advanced gene therapies to transform a variety of treatments. And I will just mention one example from a very important paper that I hope you as students read about and studied, maybe in a journal club or maybe in another way. In 2023, an 11-year-old boy with a genetic form of hearing loss received this gene therapy for the very first time. And after 11 years of never having heard a single sound, this child remarkably was able to hear for the very first time. Additional novel treatments at Lilly include transformational advances for diabetes, for hypertension, for cancer, and now, with a new class of drugs, the GLP-1s, there are now, for the first time, remarkable, innovative, entrepreneurial, and exceedingly exciting treatments for obesity. Under Dr. Skowronski's leadership, these advances have propelled Eli Lilly and Company to now become the single most valuable healthcare company in the world. These impressive scientific breakthroughs are also among the reasons that after Oakland University recognized how extraordinary Dr. Skowronski is, Time magazine also recognized Dr. Skowronski and named him to the list of the top 100 most influential scientists and doctors just this week. So I'm glad that Time magazine is almost as smart as Oakland University. So therefore, today, it is with great pride that the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine bestows upon you, Dr. Daniel Skowronski, an honorary degree for your monumentally influential work that is reshaping and improving the world. Congratulations. And now I would like to invite our Dean, Christopher Carpenter, to assist me with the investiture. Step forward here.
Dr. Peskowitz, thank you for inviting me to join you here today. I'm honored by this recognition. Class of 2024, I highly recommend this way of getting a degree. It's a lot easier and a lot cheaper than what you've just been through. Just kidding. Esteemed faculty, parents, friends, and family of today's graduating class, and most importantly, to the incredible graduating class of Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine, class of 2024, huge congratulations. You are about to start on an incredible journey, what may be the most exciting journey of your lives. That is your career in medicine. So much in life depends on being in the right place at the right time. In class of 2024, your timing is impeccable. Imagine the exquisite timing of the graduating classes of physicists in the 1920s and 1930s, the time finally right to unlock the secrets of the atom. Or the 1955 graduating class of aeronautical engineers, future astronauts like Neil Armstrong, about to shape the future of space exploration forever. Those were lucky souls whose passion for a particular career perfectly matched the timing of a golden age in their chosen disciplines. Well, for you, new doctors of 2024, you're lucky enough to be graduating in the midst of what history will record as the golden age of biomedical science. My wish for you is that you should take advantage of your great timing to do your part to improve health, not just for the patients for whom you will care, but for all of humanity. Let me share a few stories from my own slightly less well-timed career in the hopes that my experiences might inspire you to do even better. When I was in your shoes, Alzheimer's disease was practically undiagnosable outside of autopsy, and we had little hope to offer our patients. As a graduate student, I set out to find a way to detect Alzheimer's disease in living patients. Armed with this vision, I founded a small biotech company that went on to create the first approved imaging agents to detect amyloid plaques, and then neurofibrillary tangles. And more recently, as part of Eli Lilly and Company, we've developed a diagnostic test that can detect markers of Alzheimer's disease through a simple blood test. These discoveries not only help doctors diagnose individual patients, but more importantly, they've enabled us to create and test potential new medicines to clear plaques out of the brain. At Lilly, we're now doing what I see as one of the most important medical experiments of our times. Through early detection and early intervention, we're seeing if we can prevent Alzheimer's disease even before patients lose their very first memory. In a few years, we'll find out if this works. We're very close to beating this disease, and I'm confident we'll see this come to fruition early on in your careers as doctors. But it's not just about Alzheimer's. The pace of medical progress today means that these kinds of once-in-a-lifetime breakthroughs are happening not just once in a lifetime or once in a decade, but one after another, sometimes several times in a single year. Let me tell you another story from earlier this year that Dr. Peskowitz began telling you about the work our team is doing to try to help children born with congenital hearing loss. In something that seemed like science fiction just a few years ago, we injected 2 different viruses directly into the inner ear so their genetic payloads can recombine inside of hair cells and replace a missing gene and hopefully restore hearing. And I'm proud to say, early indications are that this is actually working. In fact, as you heard, the first subject to participate in the study was an 11-year-old boy who had lived with profound hearing loss since birth. And he can now, for the first time, experience the joy of hearing his father's voice call his name for the first time in his life. This is the power of our golden age, to change people's lives in ways we once thought were impossible. Let me share with you another battle my team is fighting, the battle against obesity. This is a disease that affects hundreds of millions of people around the world. It's one of the leading causes of death and disability. Even though we know many things about the genetic causes and molecular mechanisms of obesity, until recently, many people, including many doctors, saw obesity as a personal failure of the people who suffered from the disease. Much in the same way we once blamed tuberculosis, epilepsy, and depression on the individual patient. Today, all of that's being changed with new research and new therapies to reverse and perhaps someday prevent the disease that is obesity. So, in the midst of this golden age of medicine, how can you, new graduates, participate? I have 3 ideas for you. First, and this one is obvious, stay up to date. Your patients will trust you know all about all of these advances and more. And that won't happen automatically. By accepting this profession, you're signing up for a lifetime of learning. I know you'll take that responsibility seriously. Second, as you practice medicine, consider encouraging your patients to participate in research. Consider being a clinical trial investigator yourselves, particularly if you're practicing somewhere where clinical research is inaccessible to most patients. If you like research, you may even consider, as I have, a career dedicated to biomedical science. Third, and perhaps most importantly, I ask you to follow your hearts. Be advocates for your patients to help them access the cutting-edge science that is now becoming available. It won't be easy. The world is full of those who doubt science, or worse yet, who are dogmatically opposed to science. Those who don't think it's worth paying for healthier lives, and those who think healthcare is good enough the way it is today. The success of this golden age is not a given. It's up to you and how you act with your patients every day that will define our success together. Congratulations again, class of 2024. The future of medicine is bright, and I know we are all in good hands with all of you as the new stewards of our new golden age. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Skrovansky. Now, I am excited to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Dr. Linda Gillum. It is quite possible that none of us would be here today celebrating our class of 2024 if it were not for Dr. Gillum. She was the second person hired during the formation of our school in 2008. As the founding Associate Dean for Academic and Faculty Affairs, Dr. Gillum played a pivotal role in establishing our Center for Excellence in Medical Education, spearheading our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, and shepherding us through the initial successful medical school accreditation. Prior to OUWB, Dr. Gillum spent almost 20 years at the University of Michigan Medical School, where she was a member of the faculty and assistant dean of students. She was promoted to assistant provost for the university, where she led initiatives on high-impact faculty research, promotion, and tenure policies and practices. These days, Dr. Gillum, although retired, remains connected to OUWB as a member of the Dean's Advisory Board, where she contributes to ongoing success of our school. It is with great pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Linda Gillum. Linda?
Good afternoon, and welcome graduates, faculty, deans, and other distinguished guests. It's wonderful for me to be back home at OUWB. Thank you, Dean Carpenter, for this opportunity today, and congratulations to Daniel Skrovansky for the honorary degree you've received today. I need to pause because this is very special to me. I need to say thank you to the OUWB faculty, who I got to know very, very well, Oakland University deans, professors, chairs. All of you contributed so much to the development of OUWB. Your knowledge, support, and guidance have prepared these graduates for the next chapter of their journey. But before I go any further, I must thank OUWB founding dean, Dr. Robert Folberg, for hiring me. Dr. Folberg and I have shared many stories about the founding of OUWB. But most important, we wanted to be here today to say to the class of 2024, congratulations. Your journey to this point has been marked by many milestones along the way. For example, your high school graduation, your college graduation, the application process, the MCATs, the medical school interview process, and finally, acceptance to OUWB Medical School. Then the real fun began. You've accomplished so much in these past 4 years, and you've proven yourselves worthy of being here today to graduate and receive all the accolades that you have truly earned. You've also proven that you can survive on caffeine and minimal sleep. And that's a life skill you're going to need, especially early in your new residency. You are more prepared for success than any class ever, anywhere. You started medical school, as we all know, during a global pandemic. You began this whole rigorous, intense process, taking classes on Zoom. Who could ever question your dedication and your resilience? And while the pandemic not only delayed your white coat ceremony, it also changed the healthcare industry you are about to enter. Yet, Your excitement never wavered and your tenacity never waned, but it bolstered you and supported you through grueling courses, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and more. And it led you to today. In just a few minutes, you will take the Hippocratic Oath, a promise, the most important promise you will make in your professional life. It will guide you throughout your career and will steer every decision you make. The oath is also the highest promise you will make to your patients. It will guide you as you're entrusted and tasked with understanding the historical practices of medicine, as well as learning new and innovative approaches, all while treating patients who will often arrive before you, having already self-diagnosed their conditions on WebMD. And it's going to be challenging to inform them that Dr. Internet isn't always right. That's where you will call upon what you've learned here. Probably no other generation of physicians will witness so much change in such a short period of time. And I truly believe that no other class is as well equipped to take on this challenge as you are. So what makes me so confident? Well, let's look back a little bit. How did we prepare you for the sea change in medicine? In the early days, as I remembered 16 years ago, our goal was to create a school that would provide students with a medical education that was truly innovative, with a culture that was caring, compassionate, and sustainable. We saw an opportunity to create something special with our founding faculty and deans, many of whom came from other states to start a school in Rochester, Michigan. And so what if they didn't really know where Rochester, Michigan was? But at this point, I need to stop and say, after March Madness this year, people everywhere know where Rochester, Michigan is. Especially people in Kentucky. Go Grizzlies. Anyway, we knew that we had to make a masterpiece that would meet the rigorous accreditation requirements of the Association of American Medical Colleges, the AAMC. And we were excited, just like you are today, because there had not been a newly accredited medical school for almost 20 years. So we were kind of like kindergartners with a clean sheet of paper, a fresh box of crayons, and we were ready to go to work. So what did we envision? Well, we knew we had the advantage of a single clinical partnership with William Beaumont Hospital that would allow us to envision an integrated clinical experience with basic sciences during the first 2 years of medical school. And we also envisioned a culture that would stand the test of time. There was one question that was put to us by a Beaumont physician, and I'm sure you've heard this question. But I'm going to repeat that question because it became the foundation of our work. How does one train a physician to be kind? That question actually became our North Star, our guiding light. And at the core of this North Star was kindness, compassion, and courage. Those three principles shaped the OUWB mission. Kindness requires an understanding that at the other end of every experience is a patient who needs your expertise and your help. So we focused on teaching students that a patient is not a collection of symptoms, but one who may face different health challenges or outcomes because of race, gender, abilities, income, or background. With differences come challenges, and every challenge is an opportunity. I'm going to repeat that. With differences come challenges, and every challenge is an opportunity. Think about that aha moment that brings you and your patient closer. That's what we were trying to do. And some days it was just achieved by reminding ourselves that this challenge was not forever. So what else did we envision? Well, the creation of OUWB's Compass program was intentionally created to prepare you for the medical profession by providing you with experiences that would garner the compassion you need as physicians. And I'm pleased to say that I remember the day that we named Compass. Compass grew out of the word compassion. And it's a program that remains at OUWB today. Compassion is also reflected in the Hippocratic Oath. For example, first, we will do no harm to our patients, but render aid to those in distress and strive to prevent suffering. So compassion is an asset that you'll need throughout your career, even in your toughest days. Compassion and empathy will be crucial to showing the patient that you understand and you care. Noted physician William Osler once stated, "The good physician treats the disease. The great physician, well, the great physician shares compassion as they treat the patient." We always believed that the patient who feels your compassion will always know that you were trained at OUWB. From day one, we envisioned preparing a different kind of physician. And from that, we made a promise. This promise shaped who we wanted to be and who we are today. The promise we made back in 2008 also reminds me of a story that has kind of stuck with me over the years, and one that has nothing to do with medicine or healthcare. But actually, it's a book. And it's a book, I happen to bring it with me today, about how one woman made a personal pact to make life better for others. The Promise. One morning in 1987, Ora Lee Brown walked into a corner store in East Oakland, California. A little girl in the store asked her for a quarter because she didn't have enough money for her purchase. Well, Miss Brown assumed that she wanted to buy candy. But surprisingly, she was buying bread and milk, staples for her brothers and sisters. Later, Mrs. Brown couldn't get this little girl out of her mind. And she kept wondering, why wasn't she in school? After several weeks, Miss Brown went back to the store and even found the nearby elementary school where she went looking for this little girl. But she never found her. But one day, before she left that school, she found herself promising first graders that if they finished high school, she would pay for their college education. At that time, believe it or not, Ms. Brown only made $45,000 a year, and she never herself had gone to college. But years later, after annually saving and investing $10,000 of her own money in establishing the Ora Lee Brown Foundation, this remarkable woman made good on her promise. The oath she made to those children made a difference in their lives forever. So, why is this story important today? You might think that the world where altruism and dedication are too often pushed aside, a promise is not that important. But we, the faculty and deans, again, thought about the Hippocratic Oath. The oath that you are taking today to promise and confirm that with kindness, compassion, and courage, you will change lives for the better. Like Ms. Brown, the promise that you make today will uplift and inspire you through the highs and lows of your career. Now, the founding of OUWB also took a lot of courage, but the game plan was always clear. When we faced unexpected challenges and obstacles, we reminded ourselves of the vision, and that vision was filled with classes of graduating students, just like you, who would make the difference to future patients. Making a difference may become laced with uncertainty at times. However, that uncertainty can create a sea change that can affect the way you respond to unexpected or challenging healthcare events. Events like COVID that taught us so many things. The weight of this healthcare burden on society had a disproportionate impact on a significant segment of our population. And during those uncertain times, just remember the OUWB vision: kindness, compassion, and courage. The oath will remind you, we will protect and advocate for affordable, accessible, and high-quality health care. We will act against racism and other forms of discrimination and work towards eliminating health inequities. As you prepare to take the oath today, I know you are prepared to practice the very essence of that OUWB North Star, the North Star that we were guided by. How does one train a physician to be kind? My final thoughts: remember that learning doesn't stop after today. You've heard that. Nor will it stop after your residency. Medicine is an ever-evolving field. So stay curious, read journals, attend conferences, and never stop learning. Your patients deserve the most up-to-date care. I remember when Dr. Sandy Shoykit and I established the OUWB Center for Medical Education, Center for Excellence in Medical Education, the CEME. We had generous funding from a grateful Beaumont patient, but we also knew that professional development and lifelong learning would be essential to our faculty, with you, our students, being the direct beneficiaries. So as I close, I want to say a few more thank yous. I want to thank Corewell Health and Oakland University for the support and resources that they have directed to your education. Thank you for your significant support, and thank you for allowing us to create the culture and grow the culture that we established in 2008. That culture will forever influence the way OUWB physicians practice medicine and the lives of every patient who will ever be seen by you, our amazing OUWB physicians. So congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Dr. Gillum, for inspiring our graduates. At this time, I invite Dr. Berkeley Brown, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, to address the class of 2024. In a few minutes, and really just a few minutes, she will also preside over the presentation of diplomas and the ceremonial hooding of our graduates. Dr. Brown?
You all look great. This is awesome. Class of 2024, I am honored to be standing before you today. You have inspired all of us at OUWB with your determination, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to excellence in all you do. Throughout your medical education, we have witnessed your hard work, your dedication, and your care for each other. And in addition to taking many, many tests over the past 4 years, Your resolve as aspiring physicians has also been tested during some of the most trying times in recent history. We talk often about the OUWB community, and your class has encouraged all of us to think creatively about that community building process. Over the years, you have repeatedly demonstrated the true meaning of that word, not only toward each other, but toward all of us. We will not forget the many wonderful things you brought to our community, and we are so looking forward to watching you make your mark on the world once you leave us. Now, if you all will indulge me, just one last advising appointment, collectively. I want to leave you with 2 encouragements. Number 1, be proud of everything you've accomplished here and take it with you as you move through the world. Remember all you've learned, stay courageous during the ups and downs of residency life, and approach this next phase of your professional journey with thoughtfulness and compassion. And number 2, maintain the bonds you've created. You have had a medical school experience together that no one other than yourselves can fully understand. So keep each other close and continue to support one another, no matter how near or how far you are in the future. Class of 2024, your generous spirit, your playfulness, and your persistence will remain with OUWB forever. And for that, we are so, so grateful.
Here we go. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine please rise? President Peskovitz, on behalf of the faculty of Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine, I would like to present to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. President Peskovitz.
Thank you, Dean Carpenter. Upon the nomination of the faculty of Oakland University and by the authority of the state of Michigan, vested in the Board of Trustees and delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Congratulations. And now I invite Dr. Brown to please return to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Peskovitz. I would like to ask Dr. Danielle Turner-Lawrence to please approach the stage with Dr. Perry Friedman's PRISM group. Dr. Turner-Lawrence is stepping in for Dr. Friedman today. The rest of you can sit down. It's going to be a little bit. I also invite to the stage Dr. Pierre Morris, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Clinical Education. Dr. Morris will be assisting all of the PRISM mentors with the hooding today. While the group kind of makes their way up, I thought I would take a moment to explain why we have physician mentors assisting students with their hoods. These physicians have played an important role in mentoring and supporting their group of students over the past 4 years. The mentors help the students don their first white coat. They read monthly reflections. They met one-on-one with the students. They listened to the students as they expressed concerns and frustrations and celebrated their successes. On behalf of all the students, we would like to thank our physician mentors for all they have done for the class of 2024. In addition to the hood that each graduate is about to receive, you will notice some of them are wearing honor cords. The graduates wearing the green and white cords have been honored with the induction into the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. The AOA recognizes exemplary leadership, character, community service, and professionalism demonstrated by individuals who are also in the top 25% of their class academically. The graduates wearing gold cords were nominated by their peers for induction into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. It recognizes those who are considered exemplars of compassionate patient care. They are role models, mentors, and leaders in the practice of humanism in medicine. Those wearing purple and silver cords received the OUWB Compass Community Service Award. It recognizes students who completed at least 150 hours of community service throughout their time at OUWB. As the names of our graduates are called for their diplomas and ceremonial hooding, please hold your applause until the last student has received his diploma. At that time, we will recognize all of the students. Dr. Ahmed Ali. Dr. Sarah Battle. Dr. Sarah Chaudhry. Dr. Alika Como. Dr. Mary Fawzat Drake. Dr. Sarah Freed. Dr. Nida Haider. Dr. Mahmoud Hijazi. Dr. Lance Jones. Dr. Maxwell Lee. Dr. Chandler Ray. Dr. Prasoon Sharma. Dr. Holly Schiffman. I would like to ask Dr. Stephanie Goyke and her group to please approach the stage. Dr. Selwyn Alhani. Dr. Sami Anas Azarwal. Dr. Colin Braithwaite. Dr. Rania Dabul. Dr. Maj Faraj. Dr. Jesse Four. Dr. Tiffany Lowe. Dr. Hashim Mohildin. Dr. Ann O'Connor. Dr. Robin Ohev Shalom. Dr. Devyani Patel. Dr. Kevin Pulicat. Dr. Yasin Shahin. Dr. Emily Schneider. Dr. Ramona Stamatine. We'd like to ask Dr. Varsha Karamchandani and her group to please approach the stage. Dr. Nicholas Benjamin Eng. Dr. Catherine Burkatch. Dr. Nell Brigoli. Dr. Caroline Dessler. Dr. Daniel Fortney. Dr. Natalia Gama. Dr. Jasmine Hawk. Dr. Christopher Issa. Dr. Alexandra Yankelov. Dr. Sunny Cotter. Dr. Ryan Coe. Dr. Nathan Lowe. Dr. Zara Salim. Dr. Benjamin Secor. Dr. Patrick Thrasher. Dr. Ayman Alam. Dr. Mackenzie Allen. Dr. Paige Bimberg. Dr. Yusuf Isho. Dr. Alexander George. Dr. Miriam Munther Hermes. Dr. Diana Jiang. Dr. Connor Little. Dr. Amanda Mazzoli. Dr. Rajvi Patel. Dr. Kate Romero. Dr. Nicholas Schimmel. Dr. Urvashi Singh. Dr. Eli Tuckle. like to ask Dr. Liam No and his group to approach the stage. Dr. Oyen Kansala Akinpulu. Dr. Mustafa Azam. Dr. Navalpreet Boparai. Dr. Justine Chi. Dr. Luke Fickenworth. Dr. Stephen Greenwell. Dr. Aubrey Hahn. Dr. Ahmed Hussein. Dr. Mohammed Idris. Dr. Raheel Khan. Dr. Thomas Merrim. Dr. Gabrielle Rollison. Dr. Victoria Whiting. Dr. Ashley Williams. I'd like to ask Dr. Danielle Turner-Lawrence to please come back to the stage. She is standing in for Dr. Mark Sinkoff. Dr. Rashid Abdullah. Dr. Faris Al-Khoury. Dr. Megan Klontz Henshaw. Dr. Lauren Eberhardt. Dr. Ravel Gappy. Dr. Mohammed Haydous. Dr. Donna Kale. Dr. Michael Coe. Dr. Eva Leung. Dr. Marley Mason Moretti. Dr. Brandon Wynn. Dr. Ali Rita. Dr. Andrew Crescencio Santos. Dr. Sarah Totes. Dr. Alexis Tran. I'd like to ask Dr. Joanne Smith to approach the stage. Dr. Adel Andamescal. Dr. Rachel Blaisdell. Dr. Marvi Espiritu. Dr. Christiana Agustin Frungai. Dr. Paige Girdley. Dr. Sajid Hassan. Dr. Harry Jawanda. Dr. Alex Kessler. Dr. Daveet Malik. Dr. Jennifer Wynn. Dr. Brandon Prentice. Dr. Leah Rodenbach. Dr. Mackenzie Schmidt. Dr. Marisa Stradilak. Dr. Andrew Vertar. I'd like to ask Dr. John Tu to approach the stage. Dr. Parisa Bastani. Dr. Vivian Chang. Dr. Sneha Dodabalapur. Dr. Joshua Franz. I just want to pause here for a moment to recognize that Dr. Franz is our 1,000th OUWB graduate. Dr. Tanner Hafen. Dr. Konstantinos Koustas. Dr. Megan Mansour. Dr. Megan Rose Choi Moore. Dr. Jenny Nguyen. Dr. Server Orezi Esfahani. Dr. Jonathan Raskin. Dr. Joseph Salib. Dr. Jonathan Stone. Dr. Nicholas Toda. this concludes our diploma ceremony. Please help me congratulate our 2024 graduates one more time. I would now like to introduce our student speaker. He was chosen by his classmates to present remarks during today's ceremony. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Yusuf Isho.
All right. Good afternoon to friends, family, esteemed faculty, and the graduating class of 2024. Let's begin. Let's begin by having the graduating class take a moment to transport back to the inception of our medical school journey, back to the days of orientation where excitement was mingled with uncertainty. And although you probably wanted to erase it from your memory, this does include remembering the pool noodle hats. For reference, we had to make hats out of those foam pool noodles so that we could be around each other while adhering to social distancing guidelines. I can't imagine a better way to be introduced to one of the most noble professions. In all seriousness, during orientation, it was difficult to focus on anything except the anticipation of what was to come. At the time, it was easy to overlook the positives that could come out of medical school while a cloud of anxiety was hanging over us. However, over the next 4 years, we would gain a sense of resilience, humility, compassion, and collaboration. These are the attributes that will shape us into the capable physicians we aspire to be and are the pillars upon which our medical careers will be built. Let's talk about pillar 1, resilience. Every medical student's favorite word. It's a word that, in the medical realm, can feel worn and tired, losing its impact, and potentially can even sound condescending. I hope today I can share it with you all in a different context. So, what exactly is resilience? Resilience is being the first class to start medical school in the midst of a global pandemic. Resilience is being the first class to go through step 1 under the new rules of pass or fail while dealing with the uncertainty that comes along with it. It's being the first class at OUWB to learn online anatomy with limited cadaver lab access. It's being the first class to have to realize that step 2 may become the single most important factor for residency applications just months before these applications are due. Resilience is going through medical school while having all of this being thrown at you. I can keep going, but I think you all understand my point now. Resilience is the class of 2024. As we stand on the cusp of our professional careers, remember that the resilience we've developed here is not just about enduring hardship, but about thriving amidst challenges. And this has equipped us with the tools to navigate the stress and challenges of residency. Humility. We must always maintain a sense of humility as we continue our journey in medicine. Humility is the understanding that we are all students of this ever-evolving profession and that no case or issue is too small to learn from. The future will be filled with a lot of uncertainty in whatever path we are pursuing. It is imperative that we understand our limits, admit when we are wrong, and continue asking questions. Compassion. Balancing humility with unwavering curiosity will propel us towards becoming more proficient and compassionate physicians. Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." this sentiment resonates deeply within the realm of medicine. Medical school teaches us that this noble profession has a reach beyond our intellectual proficiencies. It shows us that the relationship with our patients forms the foundation of our practice, and that through empathy and compassion, we have the power to offer hope in times of despair, comfort in times of suffering, and dignity in times of vulnerability. Channel that same compassion you exhibited when you noticed a fellow student asleep on a Zoom call without them realizing that their video is on, and you kindly sent them a gentle reminder message, maybe even more than once. In all seriousness, maintaining the humanistic aspect of medicine as a core priority will profoundly enrich our experience and ultimately determine our legacy as a physician. Collaboration. COVID transformed our M1 year into a very socially isolating and lonely time. Although it was tough to form relationships with our peers, it speaks greater volumes how we made such a strong turnaround in our M2 year. We became more intentional about cultivating relationships, leading to the formation of strong bonds within our class. Many of us here can proudly attest to having found lifelong friends among our peers. Throughout medical school, collaboration was very clearly a priority for us, but it was also woven into the fabric of our education. From working alongside our TBL groups to actively participating in patient care during clinical rotations, we've honed in on this valuable skill of teamwork. Think about how much fun you had holding that retractor during your surgery rotation. Although it may have felt trivial at times, each member of the team played a vital role in delivering optimal medical care. As we move forward into our medical careers, let collaboration be our guiding principle, not just in our professional interactions, but in every aspect of our lives. Let it inspire us to seek out partnerships and to always remember that the greatest advances in medicine come not from the effort of a single mind, but from the shared commitment of many. I am so incredibly proud of this class for persevering through these last 4 years, and I am so excited to see what the future has in store for all of us. Residency is going to be a tough few years, and for those of you that are pursuing surgery, it'll be a tough 15 years. As we move forward, let the principles of resilience, humility, compassion, and collaboration guide us. Let them inspire us to not only be outstanding doctors, but also extraordinary human beings. The road ahead will undoubtedly present challenges, but remember, we are not walking it alone. We are now a part of a community and a network of brilliant minds. Congratulations, class of 2024. The best is yet to come.
Thank you, Dr. Isho, for your heartfelt remarks. Our next speaker was on the stage for his graduation in 2019. That was pre-COVID, just in case you guys forgot. Since then, he completed his residency in emergency medicine at Cornwall Health William Beaumont University Hospital, during which time he also served as chief resident. This alumnus is also a current fellow in clinical ultrasonography at Cornwall Health, where he plans to remain as clinical faculty for emergency medicine residents and OUWB students. And he is the current president of the OUWB alumni chapter. Please join me in welcoming back to OUWB Dr. Matthew Dragowski.
Thank you, Dean Carpenter. OUWB class of 2024, I extend my heartfelt congratulations on your momentous achievement. You should all be incredibly proud of the hard work that got you here. Today marks the culmination of years of tireless dedication, unwavering determination, and countless sacrifices on your part. But let us also recognize that this is not merely an end, but rather a new beginning, the commencement of a journey filled with boundless possibilities and infinite opportunities. To all family, friends, significant others, faculty, and members of the other classes of OUWB, thank you for being here and for your unwavering support of today's graduates. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to stand before you today as an alumnus of this institution. It really is hard to believe that just 5 short years ago, pre-pandemic, I was sitting in the same seats you are in now. As I reflect on my own journey, I'm filled with a profound sense of both gratitude and humility. As I'm sure is the case with many of you, my interview day was amongst the most influential factors in my decision to attend medical school here at OUWB. But from the moment I walked through the doors of O'Dowd Hall, I felt at ease. Again and again on that interview day, the word family was echoed. At the time, I felt it was a bit contrived. However, I left that interview day feeling a sense of belonging. From my first day on campus, there was no question I had found both my place and my people. For the rest of my time at OUWB, my class and I grew in our relationships and the culture touted on that interview day, as I'm sure is the case with each and every one of you. Without a doubt, this culture shaped me and will shape you into the physicians you are. Throughout your journey so far, you have embraced the principles of dedication, perseverance, and compassion. As first and second year medical students sitting for untold hours poring over books and hunched over cadavers, the concept of studying for your patient can be a bit difficult to grasp. You are then violently thrust into the world of clinical rotations where you finally were able to see that effort come to fruition. You were able to witness the joy of bringing new life into the world, contribute to saving lives, and feel firsthand the heart-wrenching moments of saying farewell to those whose lives could not be saved, all of which is but a fraction of what is yet to come. You all currently stand on the cusp of the new beginning that is intern year, filled with excitement and likely just a little tinge of apprehension. Whether it's putting in your first order for Tylenol or running your first code, know you're more than prepared to handle the challenge. You've successfully tackled many hurdles thus far and will only continue to do so. When dealing with your future patients, think back to the lessons you learned at OUWB, remembering that the good physician treats the disease, the great physician treats the patient who has the disease. In the fast-paced world of modern medicine, it can be easy to lose sight of this fundamental truth amidst the pressures of paperwork, protocols, and procedures. Always remember, though, at the heart of every medical decision lies a human being, a person with fears, with hopes, with dreams, and with loved ones who entrust you to their care. Be that compassionate physician who takes a few extra moments to pull up a chair and listen to what your patients are trying to tell you, not just the words coming from their mouths. As you navigate the challenges of residency, there will likely be times where you feel lost, but remember that you're never truly alone. Take a minute to look around you. You've become part of a vast community of healers, innovators, and advocates who stand ready to support you every step of your journey. Lean on these colleagues, seek guidance from your mentors and friends, and never underestimate the power of collaboration and teamwork in achieving your goals. You will always have this OUWB family ready to help you in an instant, whether by your side or thousands and thousands of miles away. And you never know when they may turn up, whether it's at a conference or delivering your baby, as I recently experienced. You will undoubtedly encounter challenges, moments of doubt, uncertainty, even failure. Let me assure you that these moments are not signs of weakness, but rather opportunities of growth and self-discovery. It's through adversity that we learn resilience, through failure that we learn humility, and through perseverance that we experience greatness. Amidst the chaos that is medicine, never forget to celebrate your victories, both large and small. Whether it's a successful procedure, a groundbreaking discovery, or just a heartfelt thank you from a patient, take the time to pause, reflect, and appreciate the profound impact you're making on the lives of others every day. Encourage other members of your team, whether a medical student, nurse, or tech. Everyone is there to support each other in caring for the patient. I also urge you to never lose sight of the privilege of that title you earned today, physician, which is not just a title you earned through these years of rigorous training and education, but a trust bestowed upon you all. With this trust comes a responsibility to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves, to alleviate suffering wherever it might be found, and to always act with integrity, compassion, and humility. In closing, let me offer you my sincerest wishes for success, fulfillment, and happiness in the journey that lies ahead. May you continue to approach each day with the same enthusiasm, dedication, and compassion that brought you to today's milestone. And may you always find joy and purpose in the noble calling of medicine. The world is there, waiting for your healing hands, your compassionate hearts, and your unwavering commitment. Go forth and make a difference. Thank you and congrats, OUWB Class of 2024.
Thank you, Dr. Dragowski, and good afternoon again, everyone. I have a few comments here and then we're almost done. I want to draw your attention again to a word that has been repeatedly said by most of our speakers tonight. It's a word that is one of our most important attributes as physicians. That word is compassion. You've heard that word repeated many times today. It's that important. Compassion is empathy in action. It's so important that some very wise people placed it first in our OUWB mission statement, which reads, to develop compassionate physicians who are dedicated to improving the health of their communities, collaboration, and lifelong learning. To develop compassionate physicians. Compassion is also listed as one of OUWB's values, and I hope it's not surprising to anyone that it's also one of the 5 values of Corewell Health, along with collaboration, clarity, curiosity, and courage. Compassion is something we can all share, and there is robust scientific evidence that compassion has vast benefits for patients across a wide variety of conditions. I encourage all of you and everyone in this audience here to watch Stephen Treziak's TED Talks or read his and Anthony Mazzarelli's Compassionomics. It details the science of compassion, and it will really change your thinking about compassion. The science has demonstrated that this is one simple tool, compassion, that improves the outcomes for our patients. Our patients do better with compassionate care. Just 40 seconds of compassion in the office or at the bedside has been shown to save lives. The evidence also shows that compassion has benefits for us as physicians, serving as an antidote for our own burnout. The more compassionate you are as a physician, the less, or your well-being is that much better. Furthermore, sharing compassion with our healthcare colleagues, other physicians, nurses, advanced practice practitioners, techs, aides, everyone in the healthcare environment actually has benefit for their well-being as well. Caring for each other is meaningful and it is measurable. Just imagine if Eli Lilly was able to develop a wonder drug that had the benefits of compassion across all conditions. That impact would be hard to fathom. I believe compassion matters, and I have to believe that every one of our new physicians agrees with me. On the day that we call you doctors for the first time, I encourage you to always practice with compassion, the compassion that your families instilled in you and that we've had the privilege of nurturing over the past 4 years. Fine-tune the communication skills you learn from our standardized patients and our faculty, and continue to challenge yourselves to spend less time looking at your computer screens and more time engaging with your patients. As Dr. Francis Peabody said almost 100 years ago, the secret of the care of the patient is in caring for the patient. On your toughest days, when you feel you have nothing left to give compassion. It only takes a few moments, and it matters. Trust me, trust all of us. Now, before we recite your class oath together, I would like to compliment the class for writing an oath that addresses health inequities, racism, and other forms of discrimination in a prominent place at the top of the oath. I'm also pleased that throughout the oath, the theme of community resonates. It is seen in the use of the pronoun we instead of I to represent the bonds of the profession of medicine's collective community and where you recognize yourselves as serving a community that exists within a community. It closely resembles the wise words of our founding dean, Robert Folberg, when he established our school in 2008, and I quote him now, OUWB is a community serving its community. All right, here we go. Now I invite the class of 2024 to rise up and prepare to recite your oath. You will find it in the back of your program booklet. I also invite every physician to join in with our new colleagues in our commitment to medicine. Please recite each verse after me. On this day, as we advance from medical student to medical doctor, we make the following commitments.
This day, as we advance from medical student to medical doctor, we make the following commitments.
First, we will do no harm to our patients, but render aid to those in distress and strive to prevent suffering.
First, we will do no harm to our patients, but render aid to those in distress and strive to prevent suffering.
We will protect and advocate for affordable, accessible, and high-quality health care.
We will protect and advocate for affordable, accessible, and high-quality health care.
We will act against racism and other forms of discrimination and work towards eliminating health inequities.
We will act against racism and other forms of discrimination and work towards eliminating health inequities.
We will uphold the confidentiality of privileged information entrusted to us and hold ourselves to the highest standards of integrity.
We will uphold the confidentiality of privileged information entrusted to us and hold ourselves to the highest standards of integrity.
We will strive to faithfully serve the community we are a part of and do all we can do to honorably represent the medical profession.
We will strive to faithfully serve the community we are a part of and do all we can to honorably represent the medical profession.
We commit to lifelong learning in the practice of evidence-based medicine and will remember to humbly call upon our colleagues when we reach the boundaries of our knowledge and skills.
We commit to lifelong learning in the practice of evidence-based medicine and will remember to humbly call upon our colleagues when we reach the boundaries of our knowledge and skills.
We will value all members of the healthcare team, including patients and their loved ones, as indispensable to the journey of patient care.
We will value all members of the healthcare team, including patients and their loved ones, as indispensable to the journey of patient care.
We resolve to be honest about our mistakes and make every effort to learn from them.
We resolve to be honest about our mistakes and make every effort to learn from them.
We will remember our own limits and take care of our own health and well-being.
We will remember our own limits and take care of our own health and well-being.
As physicians, we make this lifelong commitment freely, gratefully, and upon our honor.
As physicians, we make this lifelong commitment freely, gratefully, and upon our honor.
Graduates, please remain standing. You have officially received your degree as MDs, and you have made a public declaration to the practice of medicine. Now I want you to take a look around the arena, and I want you to extend appreciation to all of those who supported your dreams of becoming a physician. Graduates, please turn around towards the M1, M2, and M3 classes so the students may be the first to congratulate you. I can't hear you. And now everyone, please join me in congratulating the class of 2024. All right, please be seated. Graduates, now I wish to recognize those groups of individuals whom without your medical school journey would not have led you to this epic day. I'm talking about your foundational medical studies faculty, and I ask them to please rise and remain standing. And I ask that your physician faculty members from Corewell Health also please rise and be recognized. Thank you for making a difference in the lives of our students. You may be seated. At this point in the ceremony, I invite Oakland University's Senior Vice President for Student Affairs and Chief Diversity Officer, Glenn McIntosh, to deliver the valediction. Glenn? Oh, you got your own?
Thank you, Dean Carpenter. The valediction is one last charge to the graduates. One last moment before you set your sights on something higher, something bigger, something better. An academic degree is not the completion of your intellectual journey. It's just the beginning of becoming a lifetime learner. To paraphrase Aristotle, I will tell you, we are what we do repeatedly and what we demonstrate repeatedly. Therefore, excellence is a choice. It becomes a consistent behavior when we want it to. Now, I want you to imagine yourself standing on a pathway. The pathway is called hope. What's it called? Yes, hope. You're standing on Hope Pathway. You're wearing a white coat. Embroidered on the chest of that white coat are the letters DR. DR could stand for doctor, but more importantly, DR stands for direct resource. Wearing the DR and being the direct resource means you pledge to be the help for the helpless, to be the hope for the hopeless, to be the healer for the hurting, to be the helper for those who help themselves, to empower the powerless, to make disparities and injustices just, and to help make everyone's life matter. As a doctor, you must be willing to go through, around, under, and above any perceived mental or physical barriers to make good and great things happen for your patients. But whenever you encounter any obstacles, the question waiting to be asked is the question that you must ask yourself. The question is, am I ready and am I willing? Am I ready, willing, and able to recycle, reinvent, re-energize, rework, renew myself to a new level of thought, feelings, and actions? And with confidence, always tell yourself, I am. I can, and I am. And remember that through your OUWB education, your outstanding faculty and staff have poured into you all the necessary ingredients for elevation, promotion, and advancement in your personal and professional lives. You have the ability to lead in your field. Graduates, we are so proud of you, and always remember to stand up, to stand out, to stand above. Repeat that with me. Stand up, stand out, stand above. Stand up, stand out, stand above. Thank you. Congratulations to the graduates.
Thank you, Glenn, for that exhilarating message. Now, I want to take a moment to recognize those who made this commencement ceremony possible. The OUWB Departments of Student Affairs, Foundational Medical Studies, and the Dean Suite. The ORENA Facilities Team, along with the OU Video Services Team, and the dozens of OUWB staff and OU staff who volunteered today. And thank you to Caberfay, Pipes and Drums, and Gregory Ash for their special contributions. I would also like to thank the Global Interpreting Services for signing today's ceremony in American Sign Language. Thank you, everyone, for making this event a success. Now let's prepare for the recessional. I ask that everyone keep the aisles clear so that we may exit in this order. The platform party will exit first, the faculty will follow, then the graduates will exit, led by Caberfay. Graduates, please follow the bagpipers and drummers all the way across the street and up to the reception at Elliott Hall. We invite everyone to join our graduates there at the reception. With that, I officially declare the end of the OUWB Class of 2024 commencement ceremony. Dr. Kobus, please begin the recession.